this is new. There's no way to know what this is. Even knowing what this is, the memory or idea of what this is completely new. It's completely fresh. And in that way, it's totally alive. It doesn't have any weight to it. It doesn't have any real substance. Of course. It doesn't have any real substance or history. It's fresh. There's no way for this to be sort of heavy or distant. It's all immediate. It's all this. Alive. Now this unbeflechted, untarnished purity can seem to be lost. There's an experience that can happen that would be recognized as the sense of, well, fundamentally it's the sense of being here. Secondly, it's the sense that I am, or I know, or this is happening to me. Now that sense, which is illusory, partially just a belief, sits in the body. And that sense of separation, that sense of I'm here, to that sense, what I said at the beginning is completely lost. It lives in a world that says, I know what this is. I've been here before, or I haven't been here before. I know I've heard this before, I haven't heard this before. In other words, this means something to me or it doesn't. That is the experience of separation. And separation fundamentally is a sense that something's missing. And after that, it's an energy of seeking something more. It's an energy of always looking outside for something. And it's undifferentiated in its search. It will listen to these words, it will listen to see the movements, and it'll try to make some sort of meaning out of it. It'll look for something in that, something for itself. Whereas what we're going to be discussing is already not separate. It isn't here any less or any more than it's there. To the extreme that there isn't an actual here or there. There is simply everything. That's all there is everything. And everything is simultaneously unknowable. So it's what is everything, which is at the same time unknowable, fresh and new. This.
So, since it's everywhere and it's everything, why does it feel different when we're here?
There's the experience of being a person, although it can be recognized, it's sort of experienced in the body, it isn't actually in the body. The experience of it is everything in the sense that my experience as I move through the world, everything is real. And that's a reflection of the sense that I'm real. In a meeting like this, that doesn't happen in the same way. Because there isn't anything here to reflect back that that's real. Doesn't mean for some that it'll seem like this is real. Yeah. Hi.
What is consciousness versus awareness?
Well, they're the same. That's the same. I'm conscious, I'm aware. It's the experience of being separate.
How about then the absolute? Is that?
Well, the consciousness is the absolute appearing as consciousness. An illusion. The consciousness, awareness are illusions. They arise with the illusion of separation.
So why when we have this glimpse of awareness, of awakening, wouldn't understand, for lack of a better word, that you can feel it, and then we lose it. I lose it every day.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't lose it. The me or that separate energy comes back.
How do we do to keep this energy to...
Well, you didn't do it in the first place. Fundamentally, there's no difference from a glimpse that you're saying is in the past. It's not. And this. It only seems different because there's someone that feels like they know what it is. You think you knew what a glimpse was, which you don't. And so you differentiate and say that this isn't it. The me is a differentiator. It's always on a path to something else. This isn't it. It's something else. Fundamentally, for that sense of separation, this isn't it.
So this is not happening.
Well, it is.
Apparently.
Yeah. It is, but without any weight. Without any real history. It's new. It's newness happening.
I don't know the exact question, but when you were talking about like I'm here, it sounded like the idea that I'm here is separation.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've been thinking recently, well, for a long time about a lot of different kinds of practitioners and people are helping people, quote, get more in their body
Yeah.
and less in their head. And so you started grounding your body and then
Sweet, isn't it? It makes sense.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at.
It makes
you
sense.
Do feel better.
Yeah.
And you feel
Well, for a
more
little while.
present. Right. No, I'm saying like right after you feel more present.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to understand like kind of what that difference is.
Well, it feels better.
It feels better to be in your body than to be not.
Well, it has. I think it has more to do. The me is in a way very discursive. It sort of goes out all different places, and so that sense of being centered or grounded feels better. Like getting drunk feels better. Just there's not as much of a hangover with being grounded.
No, that's true. So you're saying this at like when the without being quote grounded, whatever, the me is it's busy. It's like busier.
Busy,
and
yeah,
all
it's
over.
very busy.
And that's why, because you're right, you start to feel
Yeah.
like more present
Yeah.
and slower and.
The me-
Is it more separation, do you think, or less?
No, there isn't anything more or less separation. There's either separation or there isn't. There is a me or not a me. The me is always looking for a better, it's completely addicted to feeling. And so it's always trying to have a better one. And so being conscious is a better feeling, or the idea, the sense of being more conscious or more aware, especially if you have a whole concept, scaffolding around that's the right way to be, then that's also a good feeling. So it's got all these good feelings that it's chasing.
And being more in your body.
Whatever it is, yeah. It's just a
So the
better,
whole idea of being embodied, which is like talked about so much now, it's not really.
it's just a better experience of separation. Because what we're talking about here isn't in the body or outside the body.
That's what right, because it's not like this is about being less in the body, right? It's not, yeah. Exactly.
It's not about anything that has anything to do with the experience of separation. It's got nothing to do with you. There isn't a you. Yeah.
Keeps coming down to that.
Yeah, it does, actually. Yeah.
So, there's been times where you mentioned that the contraction is kind of beyond the body in a way. And so, I guess my question is, if the contraction drops, is it something that's reflected beyond the body as well?
Oh, totally.
And in what way?
Well, for the experience of the separate experience, what's happening, first off, is separate. But it's real, and it has a solidity, a realness. The realness of it is a solidity of it, which includes time and space. All of that seems to have a realness, a solidity to it that is related to the experience that I'm real. And so the dropping of that is also, it also disappears there, the illusion that everything is solid and real.
And in doing that, is there...
And meaningful and purposeful.
And in doing that, is there a change in the quality of things in a way?
Yeah, oh totally, the illusory realness of them.
And is that more of a felt thing, or is it something that can be sensed in it?
Well, I guess initially you could say there's a lightness to it, but that doesn't, there's not anyone to know that in time, the lightness of it.
So it's more that the lightness is there, but that there's just no commentary, it's just kind of there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's not there, it's just all there is. Everything has a lightness to it.
And then when you're interacting,
In each sense of the word, actually.
and then when you're interacting with a me, so to speak, is there a similar thing?
I don't know what you mean, I'm sorry. I'm saying no, but I don't quite understand.
Oh, okay.
It's probably no, but let's see. Let's see.
Default
I guess so when you're interacting with a person and there's no me for you, is it that you're automatically sensing there's no me in them?
Oh, totally.
The story that...
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, that wasn't enough.
No, it wasn't. It was a yes.
So, you're saying that the idea of there's not someone to know and there's not me? Like when I walked in here and I said, like, that it feels different than the last time I was here.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if there's not a me, does that idea
It all
come
still
out?
works.
Oh, it's still, so that it would be like there's a memory and a
Yeah.
comparison.
Oh, there's memories.
So, right, I understand, but, so there could be
The difference
a
is for,
comparison
yeah.
happening.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Of a
There can be,
feeling.
yeah.
Okay. But what'd you say the difference is what?
There isn't any meaning attached to it. There isn't any sense that it has any value, that there's a difference. For the me, it has value. It's on the me, the experience of the individual, the experience of separation is being on a journey. It's on a path somewhere. It hopes better, and sometimes it's worse, but it's actively trying to make its experience better. And so comparison is put into that context. Everything is put into that context of where it finds itself on its journey.
So the comparison is like, oh, it's getting better, I'm getting better.
This is different, that means something. Whatever, yeah, anything. There's 7 billion bodies and there's 7 billion, if there's 7 billion me's, let's say, then there's 7 billion stories about it getting better or worse.
And none of that's really true.
No, well, there isn't a story. There are no stories. This is all there is. There isn't a story to it. It's contextless. It's an appearance of nothing. It just doesn't have the reality or the context that the experiencer seems to feel it does. It's just free. This is the whole of it. There isn't a story about how this came to be. This can appear as a story, though, but there is no story about how this came to be. It's everything.
And how about the idea of a loosening of
Yep.
the sense of separation?
Yep.
Is that story also?
It is a story.
It is a story, but it's
Yeah.
kind of happening.
It seems to happen, yeah.
Seems to happen. And
The end of me, there being a me is a story. There isn't actually a me here. For the me, it seems like everybody is a me. When there isn't a me, there's never is a me. And in that story of me, it seems like there can be a loosening.
and it seems like there can be so.
Or a tightening.
Is it really?
Huh?
There isn't really.
There isn't really anything.
And loosening also could go back and forth.
And for the individual, again, we're back to comparison. This is loosening, I'm getting closer. Getting closer to nothing.
From nothing to nothing.
Such a firmly held, you almost like hold dear that somehow it's a comforting thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's even the idea, I guess the longer you've been alive is more, even just to fathom that life without that is
Yeah.
another impossibility.
Yeah, yeah.
Jim, after the contracted sense of self falls away
Yeah,
and thoughts can still come
yeah,
and emotions can
Yeah.
still come,
yeah.
can a contracted sense of self still come?
Not really, because it's a large part of it is a belief. And there just isn't anyone left to believe in it. I mean, a way of saying it is, how could something that never happened happen again? Because there isn't, yeah. The whole story, I think in a context like this, is that there was a me, and then it fell away, and now Jim sits in the front. And so all of that is a real story about how this situation came to be. And there isn't actually an explanation for this. The me is actually an explanation of itself. You know, it comes up and explains its reality all the time. And there is no explanation for this. It's beyond the conception of freedom. It's freedom beyond conception. This. It's already done. Just doesn't mean anything to the separate individual because it can't be known.
It's kind of funny how the denial, when you said that, like the denial is just so automatic.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, nope, nope.
This isn't freedom. I don't feel it.
Yeah, and then it's like, I can't actually put my finger on why it's not, why it doesn't feel like it's it.
Oh, because it's not a feeling. It's nothing to the individual.
What do you mean?
What's truly longed for is the end of separation, but the end of separation is nothing to the individual. It's death, in a sense. In as much as there's a me, it's the worst thing you could think of because it's the end of you knowing. And it's what's most longed for. And it's already this.
Is boredom an experience that belongs purely to the individual?
Being bored, but there are boring things. 4 hours for a delayed flight can be a little boring, but there isn't any one. Boredom is then fresh and new. There just isn't anyone being bored, or boring food, or boring people. All that still seems to happen, but there just isn't anyone being bored.
So there's freshness no matter what.
Absolutely. And that's the key, in a sense, to everything we're talking about, is it is already all of that. It is already free. It is already fresh and new. And that includes the sense of an experiencer being bored. That's the reason there's no way, there's no point, there's no reality to a glimpse as opposed to a not a glimpse. It has nothing to do with what's happening because it already is everything that appears to be happening. Nothing is. It's already whole and complete. It's already done. No matter what appears is so fully itself that it's completeness in action. Even if that's a sense of separation or a sense of boredom or whatever appears. In that way, you couldn't say anything else other than it's perfect.
So it's the totality, just
But everything that appears is the totality.
When I get there.
So does that mean the present moment doesn't exist?
Yeah, it does.
So then what is it? So it's not the present moment, then it's nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Millions of Eckhart Tolle fans are
Yeah.
going to call your customer service line.
So the present moment is always for me.
Yeah.
Does the me create time because it likes the
No,
story? Or
no.
What's the...
It doesn't create time, it just, because there is time, apparently. For these words to make sense, there seems to need to be time. And they do, sometimes. No, it's the reality of it. It's the reality, the meaningfulness, the purposefulness. That's the illusion.
The me is attached.
No, it is that. It is the realness of what is. It is the realness of time. The realness of the table. It can't actually see the table. It sees itself, which is the realness of the table. And so it has the experience of moving through time because it has a real position as opposed to time. So it moves through time. Rather than there just being everything, there's me moving through time, the reality of time. Whereas really there's just everything.
So it's
That's everything,
more
tabling.
so it's more about the realness even than the
Yeah.
story.
Oh, totally. Well, the story is the realness. It's the same. The realness is the story is the realness. If it's not real, there's no story. The realness is, at the same time, the meaningfulness and the purposefulness and the intention of the experience of separation. It's all the same energy.
So the me is really about being real and everything being real.
Yeah.
That's kind of the...
That's
the
yeah.
importance of it.
Well, it's also very much so the sense of being meaningful and purposeful. And also, it's got a few things in it, because it's also the sense of this being somehow incomplete. And that engenders the sense of intention, which is the requirement of free will, which is illusory, and volition, as far as making this better, a better experience. Guilt, fear, All of that arises with the experience that I am real, this is real. It has meaning and purpose and intention. And my job as an individual is to make it better. Every individual is different, but they generally fall into two categories: making myself better or the world better. It's one of the two.
It's amazing how many levels of things
In a way, yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
And
Or don't really
do you
happen.
think, yeah, right. Do you think it happens that all of that kind of goes with the me naturally, or is it learned? Or?
No, it's reinforced through the learning experience that everybody else says, I'm a me. There's a confirmation in that.
But
There's
you think it's kind of a natural, inevitable thing of being of a body apparently being, quote, born?
Not necessarily, no, absolutely not. I have had more than one phone call of someone saying, oh, that I'm not mentally ill. There just never was a me. Not a lot, but a couple of phone calls. Yeah. Well, there's no value in the experience of separation or there being no experience of separation.
Really, there's no value?
Oh, no. How could there be? What would be missing to add to that would need to have something to be added to it? It's only in the story of me that something's missing and needs to be added.
But it seems like the subtraction of it. It seems to me like the subtraction of it has some value.
Well, because it lives in a world of getting. And so it thinks Jim got something. And so it will put Jim as knowing something that doesn't know, having something that doesn't have, and somehow in some way being really good person because he got it. And just none of that's true. Certainly not the good person bit. No, it really is. There is nothing to get out of what we're talking about. Not in the sense of the individual having a better experience.
And neither one is more, quote, true than the other.
Well, there isn't in that sense trueness. Yeah. Well, because there isn't any difference. The difference is a dream that might be happening there.
So is there such thing as love?
Of who?
When does love come into something?
Oh, it's just all there is. We move and have our being in God, in love. I didn't mean to bring God into it. This is, it's a quote from the Bible. This isn't about God. Seriously, it's not.
That was a curveball.
You mean the old man in the sky?
Yeah.
Why does the me feel so incomplete?
Because it feels separate.
And so that's just... It feels that there's like something more
Yeah.
that's not me.
When that separate sense arises, immediately there's a sense of incompleteness or something missing, something lost. You know, there's a parable, Adam and Eve, that's what it's about. Being kicked out of paradise. Eating from the tree, I think it's of the knowing of good and bad. Or the good of right and wrong, knowing of good, of right and wrong. Because there isn't that. Without a me, there isn't an actual right or wrong. Because there isn't any story for anything to be right or wrong about.
Sometimes you refer to, I guess, the me as a story. And sometimes it's a belief, and then sometimes it's like a contraction.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So the story and the me are the same thing. And the me is both physical and belief. It's a physically held belief.
Oh, okay. I see.
And that physically held belief, the experience of it is I am whatever, the story. The story is my life.
And you can't let it go.
Well, you wouldn't if you could.
But I feel like I want to. So.
Yeah, yeah. The whole idea of letting it go is just a confirmation that there's a dream, that it's actually happening, because there isn't anyone there.
Jim, do you think if the story is believed for so long and then that tension is it only like a momentary illusion?
This one is no, for sure.
It's got nothing to do with time. How long the me is believed or any of those things. It's that big.
The illusion is
Yeah,
big.
yeah. The end of the story doesn't happen in the story. The end of the story is just another story. So the idea that there's a context of the end of the story is just a story. So how long it's believed or any of those things or falling away or loosening or any of that is just a story. And the story in that way doesn't end. It never ends. It just never happened.
And what knows it never happened?
No one.
I mean, I know
There's just no story.
Right. It's like a
There's just no story.
Everything is sort of confirming that there's no story.
Yeah, not really. There's no need for confirmation.
Do you think conditional changes have any
They're an excuse. They're not the cause. There do seem to be conditional changes, but they're an excuse. Like this meeting wouldn't be a cause of there being no me, but it might be an excuse.
what if you have like an injury or really bad?
Like your head gets chopped off? That would be the end of me.
No, I mean like you have something that if you pursue changing it, it could improve your well-being, like rehabbing
Oh,
an
yeah.
injury, or
Oh, of course.
improving your financial situation.
Yeah, eating healthy.
Yeah. So doesn't the pursuit of those require some sort of like story of how I will be in the future if I take action?
Oh, absolutely. Planning and all of that, but not a story about it, not a reality of it. It just happens that there's planning. This plans, that's how it gets here. There's just no story about it. There isn't anyone doing it. It just happens. And without that sense of separation, which has a story about everything, there seems to be a naturalness about planning, eating whatever, healthy, and all those things.
So you don't see that as necessarily like engaging with the story.
Absolutely. Well, there is no story. For the me, everything is a story about how this came to be and how it's going to become whatever it is it thinks it is. For this, there's just what appears, and that could be planning.
Jim? So people, like, I mean, nowadays, people are living in survival mode. People are coming from the reptilian brain. How does that relate to separation, or it doesn't?
Oh, there isn't any separation. Nothing relates to separation because there isn't any.
So why the need for people still living in that primal state?
There isn't any need. It's not this.
How do you break that?
The whole of this isn't serving a purpose. There isn't a purpose for it to serve.
So it's just what's happening.
Yeah.
Like that. There's more of that reptilian, whatever, stress, fight, flight.
It's like this energy is appearing as this, that. It's just like a dance.
You know, in the end, what we're talking about, although we're using concepts, it's got nothing to do with concepts. Understanding this has no value. Concepts are pretty simple. This is nothing, and there's no one. That's pretty much all we're saying.
How did your experience with other teachers affect you?
Oh, it depends on which one. I went to a lot of them. And some of them, you know, it was like, ooh, and some of them was like,
From what I understand, like you had experience mostly with Tony Parsons. Or
yeah, yeah. That was more, ooh.
You say that now. It's different.
Because there's so many, you know, because they talk about radical non-duality.
Oh God, I know. Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. Yeah, the me loves to differentiate because it's on a path. It wants to know where it's going, what's happening. It needs to know. You got to get I bet there is on the internet if you wanted to. There's probably a chart of all the teachers out there with all their qualities and all the rest of it. That would really sell because then you could figure out who thinks who's better. And then you'd be able to go to them.
So like a teacher versus being present.
I thought you said t-shirt. Yeah, I sell t-shirts. No, a teacher, yeah, oh yeah.
This is a presence.
Yeah, oh, well, whatever, anything, any value, any sort of, you know, context that's going to be better for me. That's the experience of the individual.
I want a shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
You're gonna throw it in the crowd.
You got my little t-shirt gun, right?
The lucky one's got a real ball.
Yeah. The me is, I don't know if it sounds like there's a value to there being a me and it looking for a better experience, but there isn't. It's just what happens. And if there's still that conviction that what's longed for is going to be within experience, then a teacher or someone who has a large following or something I can hang on to or a practice that I can do just makes a whole lot more sense. It just makes sense. it's still nothing happening. Even if it is a teacher that's giving a practice. It doesn't, there's no value to this, there's no value to that.
So, I know that, you've said, there's nothing here for the me.
Yeah.
Why are we here?
Yeah, well, I mean, it probably, if there's 30 people here, there's probably 30, ideas of why they're here. But fundamentally, I think most of the time there's kind of two things going on. One of them is the individual that feels like something needs to happen. And then there might be an openness to even some sort of joy at there being no answer. Yeah. Sometimes both of those things are going on.
Second one you said, the feeling of joy if there being no answer or if there being nothing. Is that joy coming from the me?
No. It hates it. It really gets frustrated and sometimes angry, sometimes confused.
So this joy is coming from where?
Nothing.
So that's the nothing that we...
Well, the me is also nothing. There isn't anything that isn't already nothing.
Because I believe in the thought that I'll be... It sounds funny to me. I'll be more aligned to nothing being here listening to you than watching Netflix at home.
Yeah.
And then...
It's just giving a story to explain why you're here.
But does it count?
And no, of course it doesn't count. No one chose to come. Nothing counts.
When nothing counts, then some people are depressed and some people...
Only if nothing counts is for the individual another story to live, which is a complete misunderstanding of what we're talking about. It's not nothing counts for you, it's that there isn't a you and therefore nothing counts.
So when you said about planning,
Yeah?
I think I understood you said planning without a meaning.
Yeah.
For example, if I'm sick, I go to the doctor, because that's how it works in this. But I guess what adds the suffering is what I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. What does it mean about me?
Right. So if I'm planning an event and I have logistics, I have to choose between doing the logistics.
Well, the experience is that you choose, and that's fair enough. That's the way it is if there's a me. There isn't anyone that does, though. It already isn't that way, that there's someone in there with volition doing that. The experience is there is, but there isn't. It all happens on its own. The me is kind of like a parasite. It just lives off of what's happening and says it's happening, and the experience is it's happening to me. I'm doing it. It doesn't do it.
It's like adding meaning to everything.
Oh, absolutely. It doesn't change a thing as far as the full completeness that this is already. It makes no difference. An unhappy me is full completeness appearing as an unhappy me. A not unhappy me is full completeness appearing as a not unhappy me. It makes no difference.
That me is just riding alongside of everything that's next
Yeah,
to it.
absolutely.
That thing is or non-thing, whatever it is. That me is sort of obscuring everything.
Yeah, it's like colored glasses.
Yeah.
A veil. I've heard it called a veil. Yeah.
And you was born out of the environment, like because we
Nothing.
were born and then there's people talking and we get concepts.
No, it's not like that. It arises in the body, well, kind of, in the body for no reason. But some of its maturation comes from the experience that everyone else has of me. The confirmation that everyone around you says, yeah, you're a me, I'm a me.
But just it's born like naturally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there a differentiation between soul and spirit?
Oh, no, well, no. There isn't a soul or a spirit. Oh, well.
Spirit is in the bottom.
There isn't anything separate. There isn't a separate identity. There isn't an intelligence beyond this. There isn't something else acting on this. There isn't anything to go and be reborn again. It isn't like that. This is the whole of it.
So oneness, wholeness.
Oneness I find a little bit of a confusing term, just because it's not separate to become whole. So it can't become one. It's just not two.
Unity? Is that the same?
Yeah, I mean, you call it anything you like, pizza. It really can't be encompassed in a sense, but not two. Oneness, it just is like an idea that you can have, something that you could work towards. Whereas really, it seems complicated because it can't be known, but it's really, it's the simplicity of it that can't be known. It's not the complication, it's the simplicity.
So conscious, subconscious, and superconscious.
Oh yeah, but those are psychological terms. All that still, I mean, you can still, therapy works, all that stuff, more or less therapy works. What can't happen is there can't be a movement towards wholeness. So psychology works in the psychological reality of separation. And it can help sometimes, hurt sometimes, not do anything sometimes. But it's still within that separate reality.
Still a concept.
Separate reality isn't a concept, it's an experience. And within that dream world of experience, it can make the experience better. But that dream world of experience is still the experience of separation, and there'll be fundamentally a dissatisfaction with that, a dis-ease, a need.
So in this view, what is the story
In what?
in this way of perceiving it? Then
Which way?
in what we're discussing
No,
now,
it's not a perception.
in the way it is.
Yeah,
So when this body dies,
yeah.
then
Nothing happened. It's the same as anything else. It's just a leaf falling, a body dying. To the individual, it's important because knowing is the value of its life, and the death of the body seems like the end of its ability to know or experience. So it's a big deal. But that's a dream. That body doesn't belong to anyone. There isn't anyone.
then when the bodies are born, and
Nothing's happening. It's just a body dying. It's just happening. Light and color and sound, form, happening. Nothing happening. Happening is light, color, and sound.
And it feels like there's one other being like tactile in addition to like color, sound. Are you?
That's all right with me. We can go through a list. We can make
okay.
yeah.
But that's the one that feels like the most, like if you compare this to like a dream,
Yeah.
dreams kind of feel like light, color, and sound to me. It's like the tactile feeling sense that
Yeah.
feels like this is real.
Yeah. Well, for the individual, that's closer to it, isn't it?
Because you
This is
identify
my.
as a body.
It's not an identification. It's an experience that this is my body. These are my senses. This is happening to me. So for the individual, the sense is I am very important. My body is really important. For the individual, actually, the sense is I am the most important thing in the universe. Because its experience is I am the center of the universe, which is a pretty important position. And so it's all about me.
So without the belief in the me, let's say that's dropped, what is the visceral bodily sense?
What is the body sense?
Yeah, is there a difference once that's...
Yes. So the me, it's really a physical dis-ease that is like this. And the manifestation in those sort of terms is well, it's needy. It's neediness. It feels like it needs something. That's not a judgment. It just feels like something needs to be added. This is somehow incomplete. I need to feed. And so it feeds. And that's kind of a stress, feeding all the time, feeding. And that is represented in that contracted energy. Out of that comes that. And so that goes. But the misunderstanding is there would be somebody here that experiences that not being there. That isn't like that. That here was only recognized, that none of it was recognized, and only in the falling away of it, only in the cessation of it was like, I had no idea that's what was happening. Right. Mm-hmm. All the meditation and all the other stuff, it just all related to my experience.
More of it.
Yeah. So it was only in the cessation of it that it was like, oh, whoa. Pac-Man, yeah.
Was there a sound when?
Yeah.
If the only thing that exists is this unity,
Yeah.
Why we don't feel like that?
Oh, it's not a feeling.
Why it seems separated? It seems like
There is no reason for there to be a me or no me. There's no... A reason or a why would be separation. There's something really happening and there's a cause of something really happening. That would be why. There isn't anything really happening. There is, oh, you missed the beginning. Oh, well. Catch the next one. No, what I said in the beginning is that this is fresh and new, unknowable. So in that sense, it's not two-ness. There isn't an explanation for it. It's new. So there's no explanation, there's no why. Why is the me wanting an answer? It's wanting to know how to get out, how to make sense of this, which is just looking for another experience. But what's longed for is sitting in a chair. What's longed for is already happening. That's it, that's what's longed for. And then within that, nothingness happening, there's an experiencer that says, this isn't it. I need to know something, it's hidden from me. It isn't hidden, it's exactly that.
It does really feel like there's two realities.
Oh, totally. To the me, yeah.
To them.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll talk about two realities.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's just, but there, I also make clear there isn't a two realities.
Right.
Yeah. But to me, it seems like I'm talking from a reality that's different from there. That's a me, and this isn't a me, and those are two realities. But if you listen, what really I'm saying is that all there is wholeness or nothing happening. So there's the appearance of two realities is just nothing appearing as two realities. There aren't two.
It feels like the me is like, it feels like it's getting like torn, or there's, I don't know, nothing's happening, but also it's like.
Yeah, but that's nothing appearing as being torn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. It's like it's like it's nothing. It actually doesn't matter, and then the me will come in and try to be like, okay, this like means that this.
And that
happened.
and that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The me's trying to. The me will go, oh, I shouldn't be thinking that.
Yeah.
Yeah, as if you can get closer to nothing.
Yeah, it thinks like, oh, like no story.
That's
is
better.
the solution.
That's the solution.
And then yeah, I did have that sort of realization like a couple days ago, where it was just like the story of my life in quotes was like just clear, and it just didn't matter. It was just like a story, like fiction almost, where it was just like the magic of the story, and it wasn't like didn't actually mean anything.
Yeah.
And because for so long it was like, oh, there needs to be like no story. Or like,
Right.
There's like an aversion, like a rejection.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Love is the reason we can call this unconditional love is because it doesn't need to pull or push or exclude or include, because it's already everything. Even the story.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it feels like we have to find this to look for this conscious.
Yeah.
But in some way there is no. It doesn't matter if you have conscious about this that we are talking, or there is no conscience. You just live your life and it's okay.
Yeah, well, there isn't. It's not okay. It's not okay. But it's also not okay. There's not an okay or not okay. It's just what is.
Like we can choose.
But there isn't anyone to choose. Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit in that sense about the consciousness and the awareness that is just a part of the illusion of being separated?
Yeah, well, it only makes sense to call it that if it's something that the individual can know, because what you're talking about is the experience I am conscious or I am aware. That's separation.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What is consciousness or awareness if there isn't anyone to name it? No, that's not consciousness and awareness, is it?
So consciousness and awareness is also a concept? It's also separate?
No, at least in the story of Jim, it was more of an experience. That I could be more conscious. I could be conscious awareness. I could be that sort of, broad state of knowingness in a way. The I amness.
But is the I amness knowable or still unknown?
Well, fundamentally, the I amness is the only knowable experience the individual can have without reference to anything else. It's like the only true thing in the individual's experience. It's just an illusion, though.
Can you just elaborate one more time on the I amness again, what you just said?
Oh, so the individual's experience or its story is all sort of an accumulation of knowledge or experience, which is a reference to something else, something that happened. In its own experience, the only thing it can have without any doubt is the experience of I amness. Not everybody can get there, but there's an experience of I amness which isn't a reference to anything else. So it's the only thing it can truly know. And it is the core and beginning of the experience of separation. I know.
Right. Because it knows that.
Yeah.
Right.
And really, in a sense, it loves that.
Right.
It's something it has and it knows, and it's the first thing that it has and knows, and it feels in a way secure. What it doesn't recognize is that that knowing is also a demand. Simultaneously, it's a demand to become.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be like the Adam and Eve.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
It almost feels like it just starts
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Oh, it does. Well, the dream,
Right.
the dream starts there. Yeah.
Wow. Starts where it's
I am.
um,
I know I am.
How about just I?
Yeah. Well, when it arises, it actually there's a here-ness, which is the first thing that comes, and then there's a knowing of that, which is the I am, which happens timelessly, and also it's a dream.
Is that similar to what you would call like a glimpse of like the larger capital S self, like that type of thing? Is the I am consciousness that you're talking about?
No, not the experience I'm talking about. No, there's all sorts of realizations and experiences. You could realize God, but all that stuff only happens to an individual. It's simple. What we're talking about, what's longed for, it's simple. It literally is this room. It literally is looking out of the eyes. I mean, there's just nothing else but what's longed for. Not for me, right? Oh. Yeah.
It's exactly that. It's like there's a
Yeah.
yes, but.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give me some knowledge. of,
Something.
yeah.
Give me something.
or shoot me.
Or I offer that service.
That's the advanced.
That's the advanced You do have to pay up front, that's right.
And you won't even know it's coming.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do.
Well, there isn't anyone. I forgot that.
Then we like to think that, as you said before, there's something special about this miss
Yeah.
being here
Yeah.
and not at home eating McDonald's.
Yeah, well, the me, part of the me's experience is that I'm special. It's special.
But the seeking itself, the looking for
Yeah.
that we can, the me think it's put some weight or think it's special. That
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
looking for.
Oh yeah.
Seeking,
Oh yeah, definitely.
you know?
Well, but no matter what it was doing, it would think it was special. Because the experience of being separate, that individual is one of being special. Fair enough, it's the center of the universe.
There is a big relaxation though
Yeah,
about knowing there is not independent.
yeah, yeah.
I was thinking though that when me signs up for a course where he comes to hear that he doesn't exist.
Yeah,
So then, and he comes again and again.
yeah,
And then, so maybe this me also wants to get rid of this story.
yeah.
This
In
desire.
in the story, that makes sense. There just isn't a story. There isn't an again and again.
Looks like. No.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The repetition.
There isn't a repetition. This is new.
So it's just fresh with the idea of memory, fresh with the idea of memory. Fresh.
Well, memory is fresh.
Right.
It's all fresh and new.
Is there any way that we can experience that there's no again and again and everything is fresh and new? 'Cause
You
I
know,
feel-
there are ways, but it's just another experience. It wouldn't be what we're talking about, but there are sort of ways that can sort of logically get to no time and all those things. Science will even tell you there's no time, but it's just something else to know.
Because yeah, I have trouble kind of
Oh, well, that's the whole point.
getting it. Yeah.
But that is what we're talking about, is that nothing is God. There isn't anyone to get it. The whole idea of letting go is the illusion that there's something owned or had. But there already isn't.
So is it your me that tells you the story that would be a good idea for us to have this meeting?
Is it my me?
Like, what do you, my mind, I think is so confused because it thinks that not being attached to the story is to have a peaceful life and there's no action, nothing to do.
Yeah.
So when someone who has reached this consciousness
Yeah.
decides to do a meeting, for me, it's so inspiring because in my story, I believe that it's coming out of, like, let me take these people out of this illusion.
Yeah.
Just show that there is something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
So is that an inspiration, like a movement
No.
that you feel?
No.
You want to talk more about why you do this?
I don't.
Okay.
No, the me lives in a world. If there's a me, then the experience is there are me's in all the bodies. When there isn't a me, there aren't any me's. So there isn't anyone there to tell anything. And there isn't anything to tell. It's exactly the same there as it is here. So much so, there isn't a there and a here. No, I do it for the money.
I could see that by the amount.
Yeah.
If you charge more, there'd probably be more people.
Yeah. No, I mean, there just isn't any sort of sense that there's anyone to tell anything about anything to. But there is a joy, a real passion, a love. It's just gorgeous. It's just really beautiful.
So I think what my mind is looking for, it's okay to follow that passion.
It's not okay or not okay. There isn't anyone to choose. There's simply what happens.
Not label it. Yeah.
No, it's not about labeling. That would be another path. This hasn't reached a state of consciousness. And there isn't a me here that's detached. There is no separation. Everything is nothing. Nothing has meaning or purpose or intention. What's longed for is already done. It's done. There's no way to reach it because it's already done. All efforts to reach it are the doneness trying to be done. Makes no difference to it being done or not being done. So this is just nothing appearing as a meeting without any reason, without any meaning, without any purpose. This isn't trying to tell you anything.
I ask because I felt this joy of doing groups myself, and lately I have been questioning if it's worth it at all. If it's nothing, then why am I organizing all these groups and traveling everywhere? And then I do feel this love.
Well, you don't. You don't do it.
And then what?
No, you don't do it already. The individual is the dream that I've been doing all these. How will life work if I'm not doing it? Well, no one ever did it. It just happens. It just happens a little bit easier if there isn't anyone telling a story about it. Airplane rides still suck. But yeah, I know. It's not so bad, but...
So this one thing is just experiencing anything that happens at every single moment?
In a way, I wouldn't say it like that. There isn't one thing, and there isn't anything separate to experience it. There's just what is, which is nothing, all at once. It's everything all at once, and it's nothing.
How does the me?
How does?
The me?
There is no
keep
one.
on- keep-
There is no me.
But it looks like, right?
Oh, for the me, it looks like there's a me in everybody.
Yeah.
Here, there isn't anyone there. It would be impossible. I understand there might be a story, but the story is no evidence of there being a me. It's just a story. There isn't enough time for there to be a me. There isn't enough solidity for there to be someone that has something separate. I understand the story. I understand this. Here's it. It's not true, though.
You said this is happening, Jim?
Yeah,
But it will never have happened.
yeah.
Can you reconcile that?
Oh, no, it's the same thing.
It will never have happened.
Yeah, and it is happening.
But it is happening.
Yeah, it was simpler to say nothing happening.
Okay, that's the reconciliation. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It makes no difference
No.
what they me do or they not do.
Well, it doesn't actually do anything. It has an effect on how this appears. but it doesn't have any choice or volition. The effect comes out of the sense that this is in some way incomplete. And so there's a drive that comes out of that. Builds churches and believes in gods and meditates a lot. And it does those things, but it doesn't have any real effect because it's all still nothing appearing. It has an apparent effect.